How's it going, everybody? Ragaroth here. So, the news for Gotham Knights keeps on coming, I think mainly because of IGN's coverage and also because of Gamescom this month. I know I kind of missed the villains reveal trailer, but I figured I'd kind of do a reaction video to the Harley Quinn boss fight gameplay, kind of to make up for that. And to be honest, that might actually be a little more action-packed anyway. And I'm going to give kind of some opinions on that, as we go through this. So, let's check it out right about now. Alright, so it looks like Nightwing's going to be fighting her. Looks like he's in the Titan's outfit.
Right before you start the Harley end of arc boss fight, which takes place.
It's definitely not Tara Strong voicing her, but she's got the accent still.
Pursuing Harley, you've been trying to figure out what she's up to. But of course, this is Harley Quinn, and she's up to no good in Gotham. And living your best life in this case means doing murderous and violent things. Right before the boss fight starts, you've finally figured out which part of the hospital she's in, and you're about to confront Harley about everything that she's been up to.
Well, that's how you're controlling them. Give it. Your game is over, Harley.
The outfit's kind of like a
This has been in the works.
mix of her classic and kind of her more newer ones. They made her like makeup a lot more like smeary too.
That's because I haven't lit a candle.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different than what we're used to with her. Nightbutt.
You ready?
Alright, so it's a more head-on boss fight with her. I like that. That's definitely something I appreciate with this game than like some of the Arkham games. I don't like the ones where it's just like fight the enemies, and then you just like do one or two hits on the boss or something, or and Harley's a lot more capable than the Joker, I would say, so she should get a more head-on boss fight. Nice to see more gameplay for Nightwing. I feel like we haven't seen some in a bit. Oh, nice. That was a nice takedown.
Missed me.
It's kind of more like, I guess, the Mr. Freeze boss fight that we've seen.
Why don't you come a bit closer?
This is a drop kick.
You and pulling back.
Guessing now it's gonna go like the second phases of it. Now she's gonna get help, probably. I think.
I almost forgot about my special surprise.
Oh, alright.
Mama's got some stuff to do. You make sure to keep him here. Bye.
Okay, now you probably fight some enemies. I guess that's one of his unique abilities. Ooh. I would say, like, my only thing with Nightwing's gameplay is it does look like he does... Sometimes it looks like he kicks more than he uses the Eskrima sticks. But I guess it's kind of, I guess, a nice mix of both. Uh-oh. She's got electric hammer now. She's trying to be Thor.
Try
Oh yeah, we saw him do that ability way back when. Like from the first trailer. We've never actually seen it like gameplay since then. Friggin' enemies quotes are so ridiculous in this game. He's doing the spamming the backflip.
Not fast enough.
I think he had a backflip move in Injustice 1. I was gonna do the break dance. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I don't think it makes any sense, but I don't really care. Okay, so it's kind of like a flashbang kind of move. Third phase? Or is this the end of the boss battle?
Need to do this.
What the hell did I do?
You need to get out of here. Fast!
Oh, I guess they're being mind controlled?
Going! You can't leave yet! You were having fun!
Party's over, Hearts.
Okay, that probably is the end of the boss battle. Or? Does look like she had a little bit of health left.
For more from our Gotham
Oh.
Knights IGN first.
Okay,
check
yeah,
out
that's
the
cool. They're
first
not showing
16
that whole
minutes of
thing. That's
gameplay,
fine.
Or how the developers built their Gotham City on 400 years of history.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that the boss battles seem to be a little bit more just regular head-on bosses. I know it's maybe not as creative, but I personally just prefer that. Like, I mean, I know Arkham City had some really cool creative ones, like Mr. Freeze. Well, Mr. Freeze especially. I would say Ra's al Ghul and Clayface as well. But like, I feel like Gotham Knights with just Gotham Knights, Arkham Knights, Arkham Knight. That kind of burned me on the whole like not just straightforward boss battle, especially with like the tanks and all that. Like that kind of like no, just let next time let's just get more traditional boss battles. I'm glad this game is doing that. And again, it's a villain like Harley who is pretty physically capable. It's not like it was, Two-Face or Mad Hatter or something who kind of usually have to rely on some hired guns and all that, or some tricks and all and things like that. And I guess to give some opinion on the villains trailer, so I mean, it would have been nice to see a little bit more, especially because one of those villains was Mr. Freeze, who we've known is in the game since forever, since it was first announced. But it was, I guess, nice to see a more refreshed look at him. And as for Harley and Clayface, now with Clayface, I think is an interesting choice, especially because he was really only in one of the Arkham games, and like he wasn't in it for too long. I mean, I guess technically he wasn't in it a lot. He had sort of a big role, but we didn't really notice him until much later on. And I guess he did wind up being the last boss fight. And for Harley, at first I was kind of like, great, oh yay, because we don't see enough of her. But then I just kind of thought of something. Well, they did say the Joker won't be in the game, or at least they say he isn't. And it's interesting, I think, to have her be by herself in a game where you're just fighting the sidekicks. Because Harley Quinn is basically the sidekick to Joker, so I think it is cool to kind of see them without Batman fight her without Joker. So, it is what it is there. And, I think the boss fight with her is cool. I also do think Professor Pig may have been hinted at, because I think there were some goons that had, like a pig mask, and it's like, what other villain would that be? So yeah, and it is great we finally got to see some more villains, because that's something they've been kind of like holding off on a lot, so it was good to at least see something. Hopefully that's not all of them, though. There's definitely a lot more villains I'd like to see. But this boss fight was pretty cool. I think it was actually it looked a lot cleaner than the Mr. Freeze boss battle from way back when. And I also think I think good they showed Nightwing because again, I mean, he's one of my favorite characters. We haven't seen too much gameplay of him since that gameplay demo from back in May, I believe. Also, I've also seen with Nightwing one of his I've seen people say that some of his skill trees suggest he's someone that's better for co-op. However, we see him here fighting alone, and he does fine. You don't have to have co-op to use Nightwing effectively, so which is definitely a relief because he's probably going to be my main, and that would kind of suck if really to kind of for him to be most reliable is play with other person. But no, he seemed like he did fine by himself. But yeah, that's about it for this, I guess. Yeah, it was a pretty cool gameplay trailer. I don't know if we're getting much, not trailer, gameplay. I don't know if we're getting any more. We are near the end of this month. But like the video if you like it. Dislike if you dislike it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this. Definitely love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my Discord in the description below. And as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.